Mr. Zlotnick promised that next time he would be wearing cowboy boots and a farmer's hat. Mr. Mills, and after Mr. Mills will be Mr. Wright. Mr. Mills.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I haven't changed. I'm still representing the upstream water agencies. I want to commend the staff and the council for the effort that's gone into this environmental analysis. This is not an easy task. Some reference was made earlier to SQL reform, and trying to untangle the Gordian knot under the guise of SQL is almost impossible. So I want to try to precede any other comments I have with the fact that I admire the work you've done. It's been a vast improvement, and every draft we've seen has been better. I have some very specific comments. One is in your staff report on page 3. We all want to commend the conclusion that alternative 2.
I'm sorry, which of the staff reports? There's a covered memo.
Agenda item 6A, please.
6A, okay.
Page
6A,
3.
page 3.
And this is what did we learn from the PEIR and public comments. And what you left out here is we made everybody mad. Because that was one of the stated objectives.
Mr. Mills, that seemed to be clear from the day that we first met in April of 2010, before we did anything at all.
You've maintained that standard. So, I just want to point out on bullet 1, we want to agree with you that alternative 2 is inferior to the proposed plan because of the huge impacts it would have to agricultural land production, and commend you for making that distinction. Turning to page 5, we're happy under item D that you are going to provide a more adequate analysis of upstream impacts for natural flows, which we didn't believe were properly analyzed. Look forward to reading that. Moving down to item G, I just want to point out that much of what is happening in the state board right now is draft in nature. We don't really have any new operational constraints. You want us to go back to D1641. Those are the rules we're still operating under. So in terms of what we are looking at in terms of objectives, anything being proposed right now at the state board, whether it's 20% or 90% of an unimpaired flow, is simply a proposed draft, and it hasn't been balanced yet with other beneficial uses, and so we shouldn't consider that to be sacrosanct. Some of the items here in this one paragraph, I'm not sure whether you're referring to WRP1 or what's going on in the state board, but the notion that existing water rights are not going to be affected in the state board water quality control plan process ignores phase 4, which is the water rights proceeding in the state board. So water rights are going to be affected. Based on what I've seen, water rights are going to be significantly affected. We look forward to seeing the May draft of the EIR, or excuse me, the final draft of the EIR, and hopefully you folks will be able to move ahead with that and adopt it. Again, we thank you for the effort that's gone into this. Tremendous amount of effort by your staff, and they're to be commended. Thank you.
Thank you, John.